Namaste. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Namaste and a very good evening to all the intellectuals, to all the learned participants present here today, to all the respected teachers and scholars and our respected sir, the head of philosophy family, Dr. Pramod Kumar Das. Today we will focus on the 10th to 14th sloka of the Isha Upanishad. In the previous session, we have discussed about the nature of Brahman. We tried to understand the nature of Brahman, going a bit deep, and then we we came across the two concepts of Vidya and Avidya there. And today, first, we will try to understand these two concepts of Vidya and Avidya more deeply, following the 10th and 11th sloka of the same Upanishad. So let us begin with the 10th sloka of the Isha Upanishad today. What the 10th sloka of the Isha Upanishad says? It goes like this. Anya devahur vidyaya अन्यदाहुरविद्यया इति शुश्रूमधीराणां येनस्तद्बीजचक्षिरे. It is saying vidyaya anyat eva, that is, through vidya we get different result. Iti panditaha ahuhu, that is, the wise say this. Again it is saying anyat avidyaya eva, that is, through avidya we get different results. Iti panditaha ahuhu, that is, the wise says this also. Now it says ye naha tat vicha chakshire, that is, who taught us this both, that is, the two principles of vidya and avidya. Dhiranam, from the wise, from that guru, iti shushruma, we learnt this. Okay, now in order to proceed, let us try to understand the two concepts of vidya and avidya more deeply. Okay, if we follow the book of Upanishad, Akhanda Sanskaran, here we find the writers and scholars of this field. Atul Chandra Sen, Shitanath Tattabhushan and Mahesh Chandra Ghosh, they are beautifully explaining these two concepts. Actually, we know that these slokas and these concepts are elaborated and explained differently by different interpreters. And today, in order to explain these two concepts, I'm following this book. So here, they're explaining these concepts like this. Vidya. What this Vidya, this word stands for? It is saying that Vidya in creation, God or Ishvara had two aspects. Okay, one is Vidya, that is the knowledge of unity, the knowledge of one unity, and another is Avidya, that is another aspect of the same Brahman, that is called the knowledge of diversity. They explained it in this way. And now let us see that how it is this Isha Upanishad is telling that instead of worshipping any one of them, we should follow the middle path, that is, we should combine the practice or the worshipping of both of them, that is, both Vidya and Avidya. Why it is saying so? It is saying that the knowledge of the one unity in diversity, that is, the knowledge of Vidya, is the bigger truth and the eternal truth. Alright, and the knowledge of avidya, that is the knowledge of diversity or the knowledge of our diverse experiences, this constitutes the little truths or the truths lesser in degree, right? But beautifully, the Isha Upanishad is pointing out that it does not mean that avidya has no importance, right? And how we can understand this concept of going this concept of the journey from little truth to higher truth? Let us take the example of Dr. Raghunath Ghosh. He, in his book mm, Philosophy of Language and Advaitic Approach, here he beautifully citing a beautiful example that in our ordinary life we see that a person who is not true in his work and speech, he cannot attain the higher truth, right? He cannot realize the higher truth in his life ever. In the same way, if we want to reach to the unlimited, the precondition, what is the precondition of it? The precondition is to know the limited. That is why when we come to the 11th shloka, we find that it is saying Vidyangcha Vidyangcha Yastat Vedo Bhayang Saha Avidyaya Mrityung Tirtva Vidvyaya Mritamashnute. This sloka is beautifully citing that, see, if you want to reach to the unlimited, if you want to know the unlimited, the eternal truth, if you want to know the vidya, then you have to follow, you have to know the avidya, that is the knowledge of diversity, that is the knowledge of individuality and diversity, and only through it you can reach to the unlimited truth, to the eternal truth, that is the knowledge of the Brahman, one eternal Brahman, that is Vidya. Okay, that is why in the 11th shloka we find that it is telling us to combine the worship of both Vidya and Avidya, right? It is saying, Yaha, he, Vidyangcha Avidyangcha, Vidya and Avidya, Tat Ubhayang Saha Veda. He who knows these two principles, both of them, Saha, he, Avidyaya, through Avidya, Mrityung Tirtva, he overcomes death or the fear of death, and Vidyaya, through Vidya, he Amritam Ashnute, he attains liberation. Alright. Now let us proceed to the next shloka, that is the 12th shloka. What this 12th shloka is trying to tell us, it is saying, Andhang tamah pravishanti ye asambhutimupasate tato bhuya iva te tamo yayu sambhutyang rataha. Just like the two concepts, like Vidya and Avidya, when we are coming to the 12th shloka, we are coming across to another more beautiful concepts. They are Sambhuti and Asambhuti. Alright, in order to understand these two shlokas, I mean these two concepts, let us try to figure out what these two words stand for actually. The word Sambhuti and Asambhuti. Sambhuti means that which has an origin or which is born of another. Okay. And Asambhuti, that means which has no origin or which is not born out of another. Alright. So Sambhuti, what Sambhuti stands for? Here Sambhuti stands for Karya Brahman or Hiranya Garva or Shutratma, as it is said, and Asambhuti stands for the the Karana Brahman, or the Abhyakta Prakriti, unmanifested nature, right? And here, just like the two concepts of Vidya and Avidya, we are finding that this sloka is saying that one who worships only Asambhuti. Asambhuti means one who worships only the Abhyakta Prakriti, he enters into blind darkness. And again it is saying one who worships only Sambhuti, that is one who is involved in the worshipping of Karya Brahma only, he enters into more darkness. Right? And the next sloka, the 13th sloka, it reads thus: Anya devahu sambhavat, anyadahura iti shushrumadhiranam yenastat chakshire. It is saying sambhavat, through sambhuti, or through the Karya Brahman, through the worship of Karya Brahman, anyateva, we get different result. Iti panditaha ahuhu, the wise says this, and asambhavat, that is through asambhuti, anyat, we get different result. Iti panditaha ahuhu, this also the wise says. And ye, the wise, nahatat bichachakshire, who taught us this both, tesham dhiranam, from this wise, from this guru, iti shushruma, we learned this. So here again we find that just like Vidya and Avidya, Isha Upanishad is saying that the worship of any one of them, like either the worship of only Sambhuti or the worship of only Asambhuti, is again rejected, is again said that it will not give us the best result out of it. So let us come to the last shloka of today. That is the 14th shloka. It says, Sambhutincha vinashancha yastat vedu bhayang saha vinashena mrityung tirtva sambhutyamritam ashnute. This shloka, just like the 11th shloka, regarding Vidya and Avidya, this sloka is also advising us combining the worship of both Sambhuti and Asambhuti in order to get the best result out of it. Alright. Let us try to explain this sloka a little bit. It is saying that due to ignorance, we ordinary people, we think that this manifested world, this world of diversity, that is the Karya Brahman, it is totally distinct from the God or from the Karana Brahman. And this Isha Upanishad here beautifully points out that just the way you cannot distinguish the sunbeams from sun, totally, because sunbeams cannot exist without sun, right? Even the hues of rainbow, that cannot exist, that cannot appear without the existence of sun. In the same way, this diverse world, this Karya Brahman, this manifested nature, this cannot exist without the Brahman in the background of it, right? That is why it is saying that the worship of any one of them, only the worship of Sambhuti or only the worship of Asambhuti, is not acceptable by the Ishopanishad, as the Ishopanishad tries to indicate to us. And it is saying that if we want to get the best result out of it, if we want to attain liberation, then we have to practice, we have to combine the practice of both. Okay, that's all about it. And now here I conclude, and I request our respected teacher Dr. Pramod Kumar Das sir to enlighten us through his deep thought and deep lecture, and to make us understand these topics much more lucidly. Sir, please. Thank you.
you, KHEYA. Very beautifully you explained all these 5 verses of iSA Upanishad from 10th to 14th. This is a very beautiful session because we are going to discuss about the dialectics of Vidya and Avidya and the dialectics of Sambhuti and Asambhuti. We are introduced with 3 dimensions of knowledge, though that appears to be 2, Vidya and Avidya, but they are 3 in dimensions: Avidya, Aparavidya and Paravidya. Sometimes Avidya is meant as karma. Avidya means ignorance, but according to Upanishad, according to many interpretations, we can mean that Avidya is karma. Aparavidya is bhakti and Paravidya is Atma Jnana. In this way, we can also understand. Because out of Avidya, we do karma. We get indulged in karma. Therefore, in Upanishad, there are 2 parts mainly, Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. If we are indulged in action, indulged in Karma Kanda, without having knowledge, then naturally we shall enter into the world of darkness. We shall be in bondage. That is the blind pursuit of karma, blind pursuit of doing an action. So, if we worship only karma, then that will not lead to Purna Vyaktitva, complete personality. If we are involved in only Upasana, that is Bhakti, then that is also not complete personality. We should have Paravidya, that is Atma Jnana, the highest knowledge, the knowledge of Brahman, knowledge of Atman, knowledge of the totality, knowledge of the whole. Avidya is better than Vidya. This is a very interesting thing in ninth verse. Avidya is better than Vidya because here Vidya means Aparavidya. Avidya is better than Aparavidya. That means if you are indulged in ignorance, then that is a better position. But if you are biased by false knowledge, false upasana, then you will enter into a greater darkness, the world of a greater darkness, because you will be misguided. So misguidance is worse than no guidance. No knowledge is better than wrong knowledge. So there we have discussed that one should know the limit of knowledge. What is the right knowledge? Right knowledge is the knowledge of the limit of our knowledge. If we claim that we know everything, then that is the That is the real limitation. If we know that what we do not know, then there is a chance for better realization. So we have to know what is avidya, we have to know what is aparavidya, and we have to know what is vidya. So these three dimensions of knowledge that we have already discussed in 9th verse. So those who know, those who worship both avidya and vidya, they have they are privileged, they are benefited. We can't say that avidya is useless. We can't say that karma is useless. We have to do certain karma. We have to follow certain rituals. We have to be involved in karma kanda. Otherwise, we can't live. But that is not enough. Similarly, we should have empirical knowledge. We should have scriptural knowledge. We should have practical knowledge. We should have scientific knowledge. We can't say that aparavidya is useless. That is upasana, that is bhakti. Bhakti is also necessary because we don't have the same mind. The capacity, the ability of understanding is different. So one may start his journey, one may start the pursuit of knowing from karma. One may do both karma and upasana because one may not have the ability of knowing the Supreme Brahman. Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. Suppose one is not able to know that Brahman is Satya, the ultimate truth, because his mind is not qualified for that highest knowledge, then he may start his academic pursuit, his spiritual sadhana from karma and bhakti. So avidya or karma is not bad, it is not useless, it is also necessary because it is a step towards the perfection. So if we are involved only one group, that means suppose one is devoted to only vidya and he has no practical knowledge. Suppose one has atma jnana, suppose one is established, one is called brahma jnani. Suppose one claims that he has become Brahman. So mere understanding the truth, mere realizing the truth without its reflection in action and devotion is useless. A Brahmajnani, the life of a Brahmajnani is useless if he does not live in the world, if he does not utilize his knowledge in karma, in and feelings. Because man has three things. Man has to do something, that is action. Man has feelings of love, compassion, sympathy, forgiveness. This constitutes our personality. Only karma is not enough. Only jnana is not enough. We should have feelings. Our personality should be groomed with emotional emotional feelings. If you are not a man of emotion, then you are not a complete personality. So three things: jnana, karma, and bhakti. These three must be there in a complete personality. If you claim that you are a purna vyaktitva, you are a complete personality, then you should have three perfections. You should be perfect in karma, you should be perfect in bhakti, you should have good feelings, good emotion, and you should be, you should have finest knowledge, the ultimate knowledge, knowledge of a Brahman. That is called Atma Jnana. But the point is, suppose you are an Atma Jnani, you claim that you are Brahman, then you have to manifest in this world of activities, in this world of diversity. Suppose you are a good scholar, but if you do not utilize your knowledge, if you do not help anybody to do something in the academic field, then your being a scholar is, does not have any significance. Therefore, the Nirguna Brahman becomes Saguna Brahman for the benefit of the creation. Brahman himself becomes many for doing karma, for accepting feelings, for seva, for doing something for the creature. Brahman does this. Similarly, if you are a knowledgeable person, if you are qualified, if you are a Brahmagyani, so you should manifest yourself in the world of karma and bhakti. You should act accordingly. You should live your life according to that Brahmagyana, according to that Atmagyana. What is the difference between an Atmagyani and a person and an ignorant person? Agyani and a Gyani. What is the difference? Suppose you are an Atmagyani, you will see the unity in diversity. So what is the result? If you see, if you realize the unity in diversity, you live in that world. Your perception is different. Your attitude towards this world is different. Your attitude is different. Your devotion is different. Your feelings is different. Your attachment is different. You shall be a man of forgiveness. You shall be a man of compassion. You shall be a man of love. Because that is your wisdom. So as you think, so you become. As your mind is groomed, so is your action and feelings. So we have to train our mind through spiritual sadhana. So only knowing the truth, only realizing the truth has no significance. Therefore it is said in the Upanishad that one should have both vidya and avidya. One should be aware of the three dimensions of knowledge. One should know what is karma, one should know what is bhakti, and one should know what is Atma Jnana. Avidya, Aparavidya, and Vidya, these three dimensions of knowledge should be known by everybody. If you do not know that, then you are ignorant. So it is a misconception to say that I am an Atmagyani means I am liberated. I am really a man of wisdom. No. If you are an Atmagyani, then you should come down to this world to serve for the people. Your karma should be like that. Your bhakti should be like that. Therefore, it is said uh, in the um, 10th verse that those who receive both Vidya and Avidya, that means those who are aware of the complete knowledge and the limitation of knowledge, those who are perfect in karma, jnana and bhakti, they enter into they overcome death by worshipping avidya, and they become immortal by worshipping vidya. Overcome death means, what is the meaning of overcoming death? Here death means changes. Here death means changes. That I shall die means I shall be changed. So whatever changes, that is called death. So I shall overcome death means I shall not be frightened by the changing phenomena, this changing world, because I shall have that knowledge. If I know what is avidya, if I know what is falsity, if I know how how Jagat is mithya, then I shall not be frightened by, I shall never fear the changing element of the Jagat. If something changes, we fear the changes. We fear death. We have death consciousness. So one shall overcome that. One shall not be surprised. One shall not be disturbed by the changes of the world. This is also a state of qualification. This is a state of transcendence, that we shall be able to have this knowledge that we can overcome death. That means we can overcome all types of changes. Here death is a symbol. If somebody dies in our family, we grieve for that. That becomes our grief. We feel sorry for that. We become upset because we think that that has been changed. This person will not come again. But if we are aware of the changing phenomena, at least we shall not be frightened, we shall not be surprised by any change. So this is a great qualification we can achieve. And what is immortality of soul? Immortality of soul does not mean that we shall not take birth again and again. We shall become immortal. Immortality of soul means soul itself is immortal. Soul is not mortal. There is no birth and death to soul. Immortality of soul means we shall know the true nature of the self. So by worshipping avidya, we can have the perfect knowledge of the changing phenomena. So by that we can overcome death. And by having Atma-jnana, by worshipping Vidya, we can know the true nature of self. We shall become Atma-nishta. We shall be established in our original stance, in our original being. So that is a dichotomy between being and becoming. If we worship avidya, we can overcome becoming. We can overcome becoming. We can overcome the changes. Symbolically, it is called death. But when we become Atmanishta, when we worship the Nirguna Brahman, when we worship Vidya, that Atma-jnana, we can know the true nature of self. That true nature is the soul is immortal. Soul is not dead. So immortality is the opposite of death. Death means change. Immortality means which does not change. So through the knowledge of change, we can know that which does not change. Through the knowledge of appearance, we can know the reality, we can know which is constant, which does not change, which is real, which is truth. So from the knowledge of diversity, we can know the unity. From the knowledge of the manifestation, we can know the unmanifest. From the knowledge of Sambhuti, we can know the knowledge of Asambhuti. So both the knowledge are necessary. If we know half, then we are incomplete. So there is a scope for complete knowledge, complete transformation, complete manifestation. So what is the benefit of worshipping both Vidya and Avidya? It is said that if we worship both Vidya and Avidya, then we can overcome death by worshipping Avidya. This is the first qualification. At least we can overcome death. At least we can understand what is change. At least we can understand how Jagat is mithya. At least we can understand how everything is appearance. Then if we worship Vidya, then we can realize the true nature of the self. That soul is immortal. So every human being has two goals. This will be repeated. This is said in the verse 10 and it will be said in the verse 13 and 14. So human being has two goals. Number one, we have to know the changes. We have to know the empirical world. For that we have to study science, philosophy, religion, technology. All these things will help us having empirical knowledge. By that we can have the knowledge of change, and that is necessary. But science, philosophy, religion and technology, they can't give us Atma-gyana. Atma-gyana can be achieved through our realization, through our spiritual sadhana. So these two dimensions of knowing are very much necessary. They complement each other. So we have two goals. The first goal is to know the changing world, that everything changes, to know the forms. And the second goal is to know the formless, the Nirguna and Sarguna. Nirguna Brahma and Sarguna Brahma. Avyakta and Vyakta. Unmanifest and manifest. Because these two things are there. So what is the goal? The goal is to overcome death. To overcome death means to overcome the diversity, to overcome the changes, to understand what change is. And the second goal is to understand what is constant, what does not change, what is supreme, what is the ultimate, what is the totality, what is the unmanifest. To understand the real nature of the self. So knowledge of truth and knowledge of appearance, both are necessary. So this is a great teaching of Upanishad. Upanishad does not make us simply an Atma-gyani, that you should become a Babaji, you should become a sannyasi, you should become a renunciate, and you should have only Atma-gyana, and you create different methods and you give pravachana. No, that is not the message of Bhagavad Gita and also Upanishads. Here we have to know both the empirical world and the transcendental world. We have to know both the appearance and truth, both the manifest and the unmanifest. So this is epistemological perspective of iSA Upanishad. Epistemologically, we have to know both the empirical knowledge and the transcendental knowledge of the unmanifest and knowledge of the manifest. Similarly, there is another dimension of reality, that metaphysics, the unmanifest and manifest. The unmanifest is called asambhuti and the manifest is called sambhuti. Same way, we can give suggestion to the common man that if you receive only the manifest, then you will enter into darkness. If you receive the manifest, the unmanifest, you will enter into darkness. If you receive the manifest, you will enter into greater darkness. So here we are giving instruction about the result of our ignorance and the result of our knowledge. If we are ignorant enough to worship only the unmanifest, then we shall enter into darkness, the world of darkness. But if we worship the realm of manifestation, then we shall enter into the greater darkness. As it is said that if you worship avidya, you will enter into darkness. If you worship vidya, you will enter into greater darkness. So here, from the metaphysical standpoint, it is also said, if you receive the unmanifest, the Nirguna Brahman, if you have this knowledge only, then you will enter into darkness because you are ignorant of the perspective of a manifestation. Because both unmanifest and manifest constitute the totality. If totality is the reality, then the unmanifest prakriti is one aspect of that, and the manifest world is another aspect. If you know half of it, then you are incomplete. Therefore, it is said that a true Jnani, a real seeker of knowledge, should know both. If you know half, then you are ignorant, you are imperfect. Therefore, in the next verse, it is said that he who knows both the unmanifest and manifest, they overcome death. Same thing. They overcome death by worshipping the unmanifest, worshipping the manifest, and they know the immortality of the soul by worshipping the unmanifest. So overcoming the death means that if we worship the manifest, then you can overcome the death. Death means the changes. You can understand the diversity. You can digest that truth. You will never be surprised. You will never be frightened having any change, having any experience of a change. But you can know the true nature of Atman, true nature of a Brahman by worshipping the unmanifest. So this is all about the 5 verses. So now the question comes, why the one tries to become many, Ekam Bahusam? Why one tries to become many? Why the unmanifest tries to be? So perhaps this was the question in the previous session. Why that one and how? Why and how? How that one becomes many? Because if mere knowledge is not enough, so this is a general pursuit that the knower desires to serve in the world. Service is the real purpose of knowledge. So for service, one has to become many. I am giving an example. I am Nirguna, I am formless in my own state. I don't have any form. But the moment I want to serve in the society, I want to serve in my family, I want to serve for the government, then I have to play a role. If I shall play the role of a father, then only I can serve in my family. I have to play the role of a husband to serve in my family. I shall have to play the role of son to give some service to my family. Similarly, if I am a teacher, that is also another form of my being. But neither I am a teacher, nor a student, nor a father, nor a husband. I am nobody. But if I know that I am nobody, I am nirguna, but if I want to serve, I have to take a form. I have to take a form. Without that form, I cannot serve. If I am serving like a teacher, I am taking the form of a teacher. But really, I am not a teacher. I am that Nirguna Brahman. I am that formless entity. I take that form only to serve in the society. Otherwise, I cannot serve. So the unmanifest becomes manifest. Unmanifest becomes manifest to do some, to serve in the world. Because that is a joy, that is leela, that is the wish of the soul. The refined soul wishes to serve for the creation. Therefore, he becomes many. One becomes many. As we, all of us become many. We play different roles. But we know if we are Atmanishta, if we have that self-knowledge, we know that we are nobody. So it is common sense to say that we should have two types of knowledge. We should know that I am nobody, and I should know that yes, I am playing this particular role to serve in the society. If I do not know that I am nobody, I am just a father or a student or a husband, then I am ignorant. I shall enter into greater darkness. If I know both, that yes, I am a teacher and at the same time I am a Nirguna Brahman. I am a student and I am Nirguna Brahman. I am this, but I am not this. Suppose I have my body, I have my mind, I have my intellect, but I am not the body, not the mind, not the intellect. This understanding everybody should have. I know I live through my body, so body is necessary. I should take care of my body. This is my Vyavaharika Satta. From the Vyavaharika Satta, from the practical necessity, I should take care of my body. If I don't think that I have this body, then what is the necessity of wearing my dress, clothes? For the society, I have to cover my body because that is the um, social custom. That is decent in society. So for that, I wear and I change my clothes. But I have that Atmajnana that I am not a body. So I am body and I am not body. So this appears to be contradiction. But for a Atmajnani, it is not a contradiction. Yes, I am a body. When I am serving in society, when I am living from the Vyavaharika Satta. But so far as Atmajnana is concerned, I am not this body. I am not my body. I am that Nirguna Brahman or Atman. Similarly, I have a mind. I have certain emotion. I have feelings of love and compassion. These things I have, but I am not that. I am that Nirguna Brahman. Nirguna Brahman means there is no guna at all. There is no guna, no modification, no attributes. It is attributeless. If we attribute Brahman, then it will become limited. So the more you determine, the more we limit Brahman. So we cannot determine Brahman giving any attribute. But attribution is not useless. Attribution is not unnecessary. Attribution is very much necessary so far as this practical world is concerned. So we all have both the knowledge of empirical world and the real world, reality, the totality. This is the message of iSA Upanishad. So epistemologically we should understand what is avidya, what is aparavidya, and what is paravidya. And metaphysically we should understand what is sambhuti and what is asambhuti. So how this is about why, how one becomes many, how can one become many? One can become many by the power of Maya. Without the exercise of Maya, one cannot become many. So that is the cosmic illusion. That is not the individual ignorance. Individual ignorance is called avidya. Cosmic illusion is called Maya. So here we have to understand, one becomes many, the asambhuti becomes sambhuti, the unmanifest becomes manifest through the power of Maya. Without that power, one cannot become many. But for a common man, it is very difficult to understand the secret of a manifestation. What is the secret of manifestation? The secret of manifestation is the power of Maya. One becomes many. But that one who becomes many, he knows that it is through my power of Maya I become many. I am giving an example. I am playing the role of a father before my son. So while playing the role of a father, I am very much aware of being a father, of playing the role of a father. If I am conscious that I am playing the role of a father, but my son or my daughter is not aware of my awareness, he or she is involved in my manifestation of being a father, then he or she is in Maya. This happens to everybody. When a mother plays with the kid thinks that she is my friend. Therefore, she behaves very friendly. But mother knows that she is a mother and she is passing her time, or she is engaging the child only to take food. So the ignorant person fails to know the secret of manifestation. The child fails to know the intention of mother. Even the child does not know what a mother is. The child is very much close to mother, but the child fails to understand the intention of a mother. But when the child is grown up, then she or he understands, oh, this is mother, and he was playing with me in my childhood, which I could not understand. So ignorance is not our permanent state. Ignorance is not permanent. If you are ignorant today, tomorrow you can overcome your ignorance. So ignorance is subject to change. Your today's ignorance will become transformed into knowledge. Then higher knowledge, higher knowledge, higher knowledge, higher knowledge. What happens to some people? They remain ignorant for lives after lives because of their attachment, false attachment. So we have to control our senses, we have to control our mind, we have to withdraw our mind from the false attachments. If we understand this world is changing, if we understand this world is false, then we should not be attached with what is false, what is subject to change. Therefore Buddha said, pratitya samutpada, that everything is subject to change. Everything is dependent. If there is origin of anything, that is dependent on some conditions. So every state of existence is conditional. This being that arises, this being that arises, this being that arises. Every moment, everything is changing. So we should not be attached to a particular state of existence, because it is no more. It is changing and changing. So we have to change according to the change of the events. If we hang over by any event, by our psychic likes and dislikes, then that is bondage. We should not do that. So we should not have false attachment. So that can be removed. That can be removed by right knowledge. So those who, how can we overcome Maya? If Maya is a cosmic illusion, how can we overcome Maya? We can overcome Maya by removing our ignorance only. You see, Maya is common. Maya is common. It is a cosmic illusion. But one may be affected by Maya and another person may not be affected. Suppose there is a rope on the road. Everybody will not mistake that rope as a snake. You may mistake, I may not mistake. Why do you mistake the rope as a snake? Because you have the past experience that rope looks like a snake. You have seen both rope and snake. Now you are perceiving the rope, and you superimpose the knowledge of a snake on it, therefore you say that it is a rope. This is called adhyasa. That something is there, but we superimpose our memory, past knowledge over it, and immediately we call it as a snake. Not only we call it, we react accordingly. We jump, we fear. So our reaction starts from our false knowledge. But suppose I am going and I saw that rope, I took that as a rope, I did not take that as a snake. Because that is my right perception. That is I know what is snake, I know what is rope, but now I don't mistake it as a snake. Similarly, those who are Atmagyani, those who know that everything is Brahman, Isavasyam idam sarvam, those who know this, that everything is really Brahman, everything is unmanifest, everything is that totality, they will never superimpose their past memories of this empirical world over that Brahman, over that self. So what we really see Brahman, but we superimpose our false memory that I am body, I am my mind, I am my intellect, I am a father, I am a student, I am so and so. This is superimposition. So we superimpose our false knowledge over the right situation, over the reality. Therefore, we are in the spell of Maya. So one becomes many. One, suppose, how can we understand? Brahman is a very big concept. We can learn it from the social perspective. Suppose your mother is getting angry. Suppose somebody is getting angry. So you should think, if you are really a man of wisdom, you should think, we should not take it by heart. We should take it by mind. You should understand it. If you take it by heart, that means you are biased. You are biased by the given stimuli. You should not be biased by the given stimuli. If somebody is getting angry, you should think that this is his reaction. He is in such a situation. If I were in that situation, I must have must be angry. So he is angry, and that is not his permanent character. That is not his permanent response. Pratitya samutpada. If he is angry, then it must have some conditions. Because of that conditions, he is getting angry. If the conditions are removed, he will be happy. His mood will be changed. So you have to understand this way, that whatever is manifesting before me, that is really the unmanifest. This is a temporary manifestation. If somebody is happy, that is not permanent. You should not be, you should not conclude that this man is a happy person. Similarly, if your friend is getting angry, you should not conclude that he is an angry person. That always this is his or her character. This is only manifestation. This is sambhuti. This is his sambhuti. This is his manifestation. This is his reaction. This is not he. He is Supreme Brahman. He is that formless being. He is not this and that. Therefore, we have those who are Atmagyani, they will understand the changing entity as neti, 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 neti. Not this, not this, not this. They experience the anger of a person, that the friend, the husband is angry, but the wife will not give consent that yes, you are angry. Then you see how the harmony, the very good positive relation can be established between husband and wife. Husband is angry, but wife has no reaction, because wife is an Atmagyani. She knows better, because the wife can know better than anybody else that this is his nature. Now he is angry. After taking a cup of tea, or if I shall speak some sweet words, then I know that his mind will be changed. If this patience is with a wife or with a husband, then there will be a very, very cordial relation between husband and wife. Because we have to take the appearance as appearance. We should not mistake the appearance as a reality. This is adhyasa. This is ignorance. We should not superimpose our impression, our likes, our dislikes over a situation. Take the situation very neutrally. Yes, this situation, this is subject to change. This happens now, and it will not last long. It will be changing. This is the character of sambhuti. This is the character of a manifestation. So we have to understand the shadow. I have given this example so many times. We have to make a distinction between the nature of a shadow and the source of the shadow. This shadow is real because it is temporarily produced by its source. But this shadow is also unreal because its existence is dependent upon its source. If the source is not there, shadow cannot exist. So it exists and it does not exist. But we cannot attribute this dialectical judgment over the source. We can't say Brahman exists and Brahman does not exist. But we can say Jagat exists and Jagat does not exist. Yes, Jagat exists from the Vyavaharika Satta. Jagat does not exist from the Paramarthika Satta. This shadow exists. This shadow exists if there is the source. If there is exposition of light from different sides over that source, then there is no shadow. And the position of a shadow may be changed. In the morning time, the shadow is very tall, and in the noon time, the shadow is very small. So the movement of shadow, the position of shadow is subject to change. but the source is constant. And the existence of a shadow is dependent upon its source. So shadow cannot exist without the existence of the source. But the source exists without shadow. So the unmanifest exists without manifestation, but manifestation cannot be there without the unmanifest. We can take another example of a ocean and waves. Waves are there. Waves are there. Waves are very much real. We cannot think that waves are false. If you are going to take bath in sea beach, if you think if you are the, here you can understand what is the importance of having empirical knowledge. How Aparavidya is also necessary. How empirical knowledge is necessary. How the knowledge of appearance is necessary. How the knowledge of a falsity is necessary. If you are going to take bath in sea beach, and if you are an Atmanishta, you are a man of wisdom, you are a Brahmagyani, if you think that the waves are false, then you will be hurt by, you will be, um, um, uh, you will get pain because the waves can hurt you and your bones may be broken. Because you have to know, you have to take the waves as real. You have to understand the power, the force of waves, and you have to know the technique of bathing in the sea beach through the waves. If the waves are raging in this way, then you have to dive through the waves. This is the technique. If you think that the waves are false, only the ocean is true, then the waves will attack you. The force of the waves will hurt you and you may be hospitalized. So we should understand the waves are very much real so far as they are waves. But beyond this knowledge, you should know that the waves exist only because of the ocean. Ocean does not exist for waves. Waves are there only because the ocean is there. Waves come and get and returns. Again come and return. Return to what? Return to its source. That is the ocean. We have to understand both the schemes. We have to understand that the waves are real and the waves are unreal. Waves are real so far as they are waves. They have force. They have forms. Okay, from that we can create electricity. If the if the water is not disturbed, we cannot create electricity. So it has pragmatic use. It has pragmatic use. So we have to take waves as real. But ultimately, the waves are from the ocean. That ocean is unmanifest. So those who have the knowledge of asambhuti and sambhuti, the unmanifest and manifest, they are really the men of wisdom and they can attain freedom. They can attain immortality of soul. They can have right knowledge. They can have true realization. And they become, by knowing something, you shall become the truth. By knowing truth, you can become truth. Brahmabhit Brahmeva Bhavati. If you know Brahman, you become Brahman. If you know matter, you become matter. What you know, you become that. Suppose you are a materialist. You know that matter is real. Then you are nothing but a matter only. You are not a spirit. You can't understand what soul is. You shall take everything as material. Your wife is material. She is nothing but an object of enjoyment. So you can take divorce and you can have contextual marriage because she is an object. Because you are a materialist. If you are a materialist, if you think that matter is real, you become matter. Your father is a matter only. If father has no pension, then he is useless. Father should stay in the old age home, because father has no meaning. So father is a matter, father is an object. If you think that matter is real, then everything is material for you. Everything is material. You can't have respect for women because they are only matters. They are only objects. And this is happening in the present society. This is now our crisis. We don't have respect for women only because we think that they are meant for the world of glamour. They are beautiful. They are objects of enjoyment. This is the crisis. If you think that you are Brahman, you are self, then you will worship an woman as Devi, as the source of energy. You will worship animals. You will worship the manifestation, entire manifestation. So the worship of manifestation is not bad. That gives you courage, that gives you inspiration, that perfects your personality, because you can't know whatever you know through your sense organs, through your mind. That is the empirical world, that is sambhuti, that is the manifestation. And when whatever you know through your realization, the formless, that is asambhuti. So both are necessary. Thank you. If any question, over to Kheya.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really a very illuminating lecture. And thank you so much, sir, again for unraveling these tough concepts. Like, I also had so much doubts regarding the concepts of Vidya, Avidya, and Sambhuti, Asambhuti, how beautifully you have elaborated these concepts from two aspects, like from one from epistemology and another from metaphysical side. This really helped. I think this has cleared the doubts from the mind of many of us. So now the discussion is open to the audiences, to the participants today. So please raise your hands and come forward if you have any queries and doubts. Thank you.
No question is there, so you.
Say Jagannath Maharana Ji
Yes,
has
yes.
yes, so
My question is, sir, why philosophy does not give the knowledge of Atman? Sir, you have mentioned that science and philosophy
Yes.
are not capable to give the knowledge of Atman.
Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
why philosophy, sir?
Philosophy. Then we have to understand what philosophy is. Philosophy is a methodology to understand the reality. Okay, so philosophy of a person varies. That varies from person to person. Philosophy is only a view. Your philosophy is not my philosophy. So when there is variation, there cannot be realization. That means your philosophy of the world is only a part of knowledge. You have understood the world from a given perspective. You are biased by one ism. Okay, so that is very well said in the philosophy of Jainism. That five blind men, they are great philosophers. Five blind men, but they are great philosophers. They are giving judgment upon the elephant, and each claims that their views are correct. This is the position of a philosopher. And in science, we cannot have absolute knowledge. Science itself claims that its knowledge is relative by nature. It's relative by nature. It's subject to change. So philosophy, science, even religion is that. One religion differs from another religion. Suppose you claim that you are a Hindu, you are not a complete personality. If you claim that you are a Hindu, you are different from a Muslim, you are different from a Christian. You are not a Hindu. As I told that I have a religion, but I am not that religion. I don't belong to any religion. By custom, because I am born in a Hindu family, then I claim that I am a Hindu. But that is not my true identity. We are suffering from identity crisis. That I am a Hindu, I am a Muslim, I am a Christian. You are not. You are neither a Hindu, nor Muslim, nor a Christian. Similarly, this is my philosophy. I differ from his philosophy. I am a materialist. I am a Marxist. I am an idealist. I am a pragmatist. I am a logical positivist. What is this? By that, you can advocate only one branch of knowledge. That is Aparavidya. You can't have the complete knowledge. For complete knowledge, even no scripture is necessary. By reading scriptures, you can't have self-realization. Okay, that is through, that is inward, that is inward. That is your own realization, and that is very, very personal. Even that cannot be attained through any guru. Guru is necessary as like a book is necessary. A guru can give you knowledge, but how much you can digest and in what way you will realize the truth, that is very, very personal. Okay, this is how by studying philosophy we cannot have Atma Jnana, because Atma Jnana transcends philosophy, science, religion, etc. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
If anyone else have question, then please raise your hands, or you can write in the text box.
Jagannath,
Yes, sir.
when we are doing PhD, okay, when we are doing PhD in one subject, on one title, we think that we become very knowledgeable. But that is the closed door of knowledge. An eye specialist. One is eye specialist means he cannot give any treatment to other parts of your body. So don't become a specialist. If you are a specialist in one area, you cannot be, you can't have knowledge of the totality. So PhD work is like that. You concentrate on one part, and you are doing some research. PhD is the I think that is the highest qualification. You are doing research in one subject, but that is the that closes your door. If you whole life you claim that my research area is this, my research area is Sabda Pramana, that means you don't know anything else except Sabda Pramana. That is your whole asset, whole knowledge, whole wisdom. How can you have Atma Jnana by knowing only Sabda Pramana, or by knowing only dialectics, by knowing only Sankhya philosophy? No. So that helps us. Philosophy helps us um, for having clarity in understanding. That is used as an instrument, that much. But for the understanding of truth, we have to become that truth. We have to live accordingly. So if you know something but you do not live accordingly, then you can't have Atmajnana. Atmajnana is attained through your practical behavior, through your practical involvement. Mere psychic understanding is not Atmajnana. Atmajnana should be translated into your practical behavior. How you understand the world and how you live in the world. Whether you are living like a Advaita Vedantist or not, that matters. Whether you know Advaita Vedanta, it does not matter. Whether you are living or not. If you know but you don't live, then you are a false person. You are not a Atmagyani. So here knowing is becoming. Knowing means you have to become. Okay. So therefore it is not possible through philosophy, science, religion, technology. All these things cannot make us. By knowing science, you can become a very you can become a great scientist. You can achieve so many awards in science, and you can become a very religious person, and you can become a man of literature, and you can become a great philosopher also. But you will be confined to one ism. For example, Descartes. Descartes is confined to his philosophy. His philosophy is criticized by Spinoza. Spinozistic philosophy is criticized by Leibniz. Then what happens? You said something and others criticize you. But there is no criticism in self-realization. There is no criticism in Atma-jnana. And you don't wait for any criticism. The moment you have Atmajnana, your feelings are different, your attachments are different, your way of life, your ways of life are different. You have completely different personality. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Now Khea concludes if there is no other question.
I think we do not have any more question for today. So I want to express my heartfelt thanks to our respected sir and to all the participants and scholars present here. Thank you so much and my regards to all of you. Today we end our discussion here and we already came in the concluding portion of this session. So the next day we'll be having the last session on Ishavasya Upanishada. So I hope for your this enthusiastic participation. Thank you so much and good night to all of you.
Thank you, Khea. Thank you.